Rookie here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
It's Pat and JT on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Voice cracked.
Oh, that's awesome.
402-403-9478 or WIST.
Yes.
We appreciate you downloading our podcast and liking, subscribing, rating, wherever you get your podcasts.
And sharing.
And sharing. It's a big
Much
one.
appreciated.
Sharing is caring.
Another
Sharing is
Vrzal
Did
Day.
you say whist?
Whist.
The last four numbers.
Oh, gotcha. That's all we can come up with?
Well,
Somebody, I don't remember who it was.
there was another
Allison?
one. No. There was another one too.
I don't remember.
It was, I can't remember, but whist was about the best we could do.
Yeah.
And so she came up with this like, thank you. So
Yeah.
throw it out there.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
Whistler.
Whist. And you know what whist
Yeah.
is? That wasn't it? Is your
Ignorance or wistful.
wistful?
Yeah.
You're wistful for something better.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's kind of appropriate.
Awesome.
Is that the song? You're the king of wistful thinking?
I
That
think
is
that's
kidding.
Yeah. Who
I joke.
who's that? That's like brought back all these like a
Terrence
flood of.
Darby.
There we go.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Nice. Bonus artist.
go.
Wow.
Found that one.
Thank you.
Okay, so
My
it's another-
former life.
But that was a
JT
great
off the
song.
top rope.
That was
It
a
was.
great song.
It was.
It was a good song.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
JT's jiving in her chair
It
right
was a
now.
really good one.
Got it in my head.
So it's another Thursday, and we were talking. Wrapped up last episode with some farm stories. You grew up on like legit farm with bulls.
No. My grandma and grandpa had a farm.
Okay. Basically,
This is when you just got shit. Like, this is when you played a normal summer baseball season, which was like 12 games.
Right.
yeah.
Then you got shipped up to the farm to go work, and learn.
Right.
So, yeah.
You didn't spend summer.
You didn't play 97 baseball games and wonder where you're going to work at.
There's no way a kid.
seriously.
Well, that's true. There's no
Right.
way a kid can
true.
play any summer sports
Nothing.
like that and have a summer job. There's just no way that's going to
No.
happen. It's impossible.
No.
And so that creates like, on top of all the other problems, even more problems for the family because there's 3 times the travel or more. There's more expense to have to be in the team. There's more travel. We said that, but then they can't have a job, so they're not making their own money.
And travel.
And oh my God. Again, we'll say that again. And we'll
Cover that travel.
there's a travel, and then don't forget the travel. There we go. And the hotels.
Hotel rooms,
Oh my God.
food.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that we played. It was just like you'd have games once a week.
Right.
It was
That
easy.
was this. Yeah.
A
exactly.
neighborhood team. Mm-hmm. R&L Sprinkler.
Were you really?
GI America. Oh, yeah. Shout out R&L Sprinkler. Still in existence to this day.
That's great.
Western State Bank was still in existence to this day in Waterloo. Was our team
That was your squad?
sponsor? Yeah.
So that was your game. You were a baseball guy, yeah?
Loved it. Yeah, and actually, when we were talking last episode about when I used to be a fat little kid.
Yeah. Hefty. Go
when
hefty.
I was hefty my first year at Rosenblatt when I was a bat boy, and there are 2 people that were really instrumental in helping me lose a lot of weight: Rob Dibble and Jeff Montgomery.
No kidding.
They played for Nashville Sounds at the time. They
Yeah.
weren't even up in the big leagues yet, and Rob Dibble wasn't he called me Porky, like he wasn't being very nice
Could
about
see
it.
that.
Yeah, because he wanted to play Pepper, and so he's like, "Hey, Porky, go grab the balls to play Pepper." And I was like, it was like the 4th game of the season, my first year. I'm like, "Oh God, I'm
What the hell's
nervous."
Yeah. Pepper?
It's where you sit and you throw the ball at somebody with a bat, and they just pepper the ball back. You like hit it back to you, so you kind of work on a little more
Controlling your
fielding than anything, and controlling the bat.
Okay.
So and then after that whole exchange, like he was a total D, but I didn't. It was Rob Dibble at the time. So
Oh,
then,
yeah, you guys don't cuss on this, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm trying
well-
to.
Well, don't worry about
and
it.
I tell my kids not to cuss, so I don't cuss here.
Fair.
Yeah, but you can cuss if you want. And then later on that day, I was sitting in the dugout, and Jeff Montgomery came over to me and sat down. Super great guy. He's like, "Listen, I heard Dibble," and he's like, "Don't listen to that guy." He goes, "Next time we come to town, if you've dropped X, I don't know, 10 pounds or 5, whatever it was, he goes to give you $20." I'm like, "Get up! That's awesome." So it was like, I don't know, a month and a half later, 2 months later.
If you have 20 pounds, I'll give you a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
So Dibble was more just being an a-hole,
Yeah.
and Montgomery was being a nice guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But playing Pepper didn't
But they
suck.
both helped. No. And then,
Yeah. I get
God, I'm
that.
still just enamored. That's a great gig.
Yeah.
Just rolling around with future Major League Baseball
was
players,
awesome.
just shagging balls.
Exactly.
It was awesome. It was awesome. And that was the time when Bo Jackson was playing for Kansas City, and he was a total D. He
Really?
was a total D. Kansas City came to town to play their game against
The Royals, yeah.
Yeah, so it was him and George Brett and got all those guys.
2 douches.
Yeah.
And George Brett was awesome. Like, I'll tell you my story. I got a story with him for the same day that this happened with Bo Jackson.
Huh.
They came to town, and then I want to hear your D story.
I've never told you the George Brett story.
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
No.
Oh, this will be great.
This will be a third episode.
Yes.
Okay.
Hell with the
Ooh.
farm stories.
Yeah,
Let's go with the farm team stories.
Yeah, farm team story. That's what we meant. So it was they came to town the week that Sports Illustrated came out with Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Half Raiders, half Kansas City. And and I was in charge of the visitors locker room that day. Uh-huh. So I was over there just taking care of some stuff, and I was
What age?
super excited. 13,
Okay.
maybe 14.
Gotcha.
Super excited to meet him, and so I brought the magazine in with me, and he is, and I wasn't like in your face at all
Right.
about it, and I went in early. It was before I even got my uniform on. I was just kind of hanging out,
Right.
And I had talked to the other guys, and I was the manager. What was his name? Oh shoot. I can't remember the manager.
Hauser.
It wasn't. It might have been Hauser. Yeah, might have been Hauser.
There you go.
And he was super nice. Anyway, I was talking to him, so they knew I was working for the team.
Right.
And Bo Jackson was sitting in the dugout reading the magazine. He had the magazine open,
Yeah.
and he's sitting there reading it. And he had kind of taken a break, put the magazine down to get a drink or something. And I just walked up. I said, "Mr. Jackson, can I please have your autograph?"
Yeah.
And he just goes, "Can't you see I'm busy, son?"
Yeah.
And I like instantly froze. Like,
Yeah.
and then he didn't.
Oh.
Then he just walked out and never said anything to me again after that.
So there's where you and I differ.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was.
So that was your one interaction with him?
Yeah.
I'd have been like, get your own bat, asshole.
Yeah. If I had now, I would.
No kidding.
You pick up every other bat but his. Hey, Jackson, get your bat. Hey, ball boy, get my bat. Screw you. Sign my paper.
Sign
wish
my
I-
paper.
God, makes me nervous now just thinking about doing that.
Really?
Yeah.
God, that's depressing. I was in. Bo knows. I had the shoes. I had the poster.
Yeah.
But maybe he is a nice guy. He's just in a bad mood. Something happened.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I know. But that
People have
later
bad
that day, but we would rotate. The Bat Boys would rotate from visitors locker room that game. So visitors locker room to the Omaha Royals bullpen, visitors bullpen. You just rotate
Nice.
every game actually. But during that game, I would swapped with the bullpen guy on the Kansas City side just so he could get in the dugout and hang out with some of the guys. So I sat in the bullpen. And I was down there by myself, just hanging out because all the players, nobody sat, they didn't warm up, you know, a bullpen for that game. So I'm sitting down there by myself, and George Brett came down, and he sat there for like 4 innings and just talked. We just BS'd, and I was so nervous the entire time. Super nice guy.
Were you skinny then?
No, I was fat.
God, it was just me.
It was fat, but
douche.
and you know what he even did? Like later on, was it that year or the year after that he hit 3,000?
Yeah.
I had sent him, the trainer for Omaha got called up to Kansas City, Nick Schwartz. And I talked to Nick, and I'm like, hey, listen, I would love if I could get a Brett bat. It'd be awesome if you get one. I'd love to have him sign it just to hang in my room.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll ask him. I didn't think he would. Then a couple weeks went by. Brett hit for 3,000. And a week after that, I had a box showed up at my house. And this was from Kansas City, Kauffman Stadium. And I opened it up, and it was a Brett bat signed and a note from George Brett, which I have framed, that said, sorry, didn't get this to you sooner. I was busy hitting 3,000, George Brett.
Nice. That's
It was
funny.
pretty awesome. So he was pretty cool. So
I
now
still hate him, but that's funny.
I want to hear why you hate him.
So you're 13. How old are you right now?
45.
Such a douche.
We're basically the same age, right? You graduated 70.
Maybe
or
I was younger. Anyway,
73. You were born.
74.
Okay.
Yeah. Oldie.
Yeah.
So, I haven't told this on here. Are you sure?
No.
All right.
I
So
don't
in the
think
era
so.
of baseball cards, right? So we got the GI Baseball Card Club,
Yeah.
and R&L Sprinklers owner actually owned the baseball card club.
Awesome.
So
This
We all
podcast brought to
go-
you by R&L Sprinklers.
right. So we all go and are trading cards and da da da. Then they're like, well, hey, we're gonna go down to Kansas City and catch a game. I'm like, sweet. Kind of like this guy Brett. Not a big deal. Got a rookie card
Yeah.
in the thing, so it's pristine. I'm gonna pop that baby out. He's
And
gonna
he was a rookie at the time or a younger player?
No, he was older.
Older. Oh, okay.
Well, he was not a rookie.
Okay.
I don't know what his rookie year was.
I think it was like 85
Whatever. 85?
or whatever.
So that'd put me at 10 or 11. Maybe I did influence this.
Maybe.
So,
I'm going to Google that, but go ahead.
I'm up there. I got my Brett rookie card in the deal, in the sleeve. It's safe. Doors open up, right? And you got 50 kids from GI running to get in the front row to get autographs.
They've let him loose.
Just elbowing each other. We got GA tickets. And so we're down on the side, and he comes over. Big mob of kids, of course. And so I'm on the one end, and he's like, come head right for me. Got my card. I was like, oh, Mr. Brett, please sign my card. I got the pen, I got the marker and everything. I'm like, here you go. Just passes by. Goes to the kid next to me. I'm like, yeah, missed me. So I waddle back up there and come back around the top, waddle back down and get my spot. And they're like, oh, Mr. Brett, sign my card. So, the autograph thing is it starts kind of out toward the outfield and then it works its way back to the dugout.
Yeah.
And then when they get to the dugout, they're gone. So he goes, literally signs the kid to my left, goes around mine, signs the kid to my right.
This for the second time.
Second time. I'm like, in my head.
Now you're getting pissed.
In my head, I'm like, what is this asshole's problem?
Right.
So I'm probably going to punch him.
Right.
So I waddle back up, waddle back around, waddle back on the other side. Now I'm right by the dugout. That's it.
This is
it's
it.
the last one.
Last chance.
So I'm sitting there. I got, Mr. Brett, will you please sign my card? Passes it again. I'm like, hey.
Without saying anything?
Finally, I had enough. I was like, what's your problem? And he goes, I don't sign fat kid cards. And I was like,
What?
you know what, bud? I'm like, you can't hit a sorry, I apologize. Curveball to save your and my dad is behind me. And I didn't know that. And so I'm just F-bombing. And he knows I learned every one of these from him.
Right. He's like
I got it in between words. I got it with, it's an adjective, a verb, a noun.
He knows where to
you
put
know
it.
what syllable to accentuate.
So I'm just like pissed, fat kid, like hot. I had a lot of hair at the time. I'm sweating. I'm mad. Turn back around. He's standing there. He goes, yeah, we just won't tell mom about this. I'm like, deal, my man. I'm like, my man. So I went out in GA.
Jerk.
So I went out in GA, and I heckled him every chance I got.
Oh, I bet you did.
And everybody sitting around was pissed. I didn't care.
They
Brett, you suck. It's like you're worthless.
What an
Oh, yeah.
absolute
Old people are
jerk.
getting mad at me. Like, somebody teach this kid some manners. I'm like, he wouldn't sign my card. He called me fat.
What a jerk. I don't.
Wow.
I've told that story on radio before. So when he comes into town, my Twitter just goes, like, he's here. Go see him. I'm like, nah, F that guy.
Right.
See ya later.
Who says that to a kid?
I know, really.
George Brett.
I guess. What a
crazy?
jerk.
So maybe me F-bombing him a bunch of times at 10 or 11 years old influenced him when he met you.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, I appreciate that.
And maybe I should go be nice to this little husky kid.
Maybe you turned him around. All right,
That's
so he was
awful.
what, 71
George
baseball
Brett.
draft? God. He was selected by the Kansas City Royals in the second round of the
Punch
71
that guy in the
baseball
face.
draft.
Wow. I didn't realize he was that old.
He
Not
is
a fan.
that old. He was born in 53.
Wow.
So 63, 73, 83 would have been 30 years old.
I did
About when
also
you
hope
ran
he got
into
hit
him.
by a pitch that game.
Well, I bet you
Yeah, did he?
I bet you wished a lot of things.
I did. True. All true.
Well, see, those are farm team stories.
Yeah.
I love it. Any other farm team stories?
I went on the road with the Royals one time.
Did they tip you? Did the players tip you?
Not us.
Like,
They
hey,
tipped
buddy, here's
the
$5.
clubby. They tipped the
Oh, okay.
clubhouse guy, but not us. I got paid. I was like $3 an hour or whatever. It was.
Did you get yoked and then see Dibble and be like, hey, dick?
I did lose a lot. I lost a lot of weight, and he didn't recognize me at the end of the season. But I think he got called up and to Cincinnati, I think, and then never.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
You probably heard some stuff
Yeah.
at that age.
Oh, I heard and saw a lot of stuff.
Oh, really?
I did. Yeah, I did. I heard. I told you about we know about Razor Shine's Wrench. Yeah. That was my first day on the job. And then I went on the road with him a few times, like 5 or 6 times. I went to like Nashville and Louisville and flew around and all over the place with these guys sometimes. And one of them, I would just crash on the players' rooms, and usually it was
really?
a guy, on their, and I could never do that nowadays,
No.
right? But
Everyone would be in jail.
100%. But I would just, bounce from room to room, find a floor, and be in Louisville. I'm like, well, okay.
Because there was no room for
I didn't
you
have,
guys.
and it wasn't you guys. It was
they
just
didn't
me.
get a bat boy room.
It was just me. I always wormed myself in here. Like my grandparents would invite the players out. My grandma would make a big spaghetti spread. Next thing you know, I'm on a jet going to Louisville with these guys. Just it just happened.
Thanks, Grandma.
Right. So I went, and I don't remember who these guys were, and I wouldn't say their names anyway on a podcast because I want to out them. But they both had wives. One of them had kids.
Oh.
And I remember I laying there, and I hear on the door, and I was the only one in the room at the time. I was on the floor. And I'm like, what? And I open the door, and it's this guy with 2 beautiful blondes on his arm. He's like, Safford, you got to go down to Thurman's room. I'm like, oh, you got it, buddy.
Why?
Let me get my pillow.
Oh, man. Just imagine if you had your wit now when you were that kid. Like, why, Dad?
Oh, why, Dad?
Dad, why do I have to leave? And you just been like, what?
Why, Dad? Oh, gosh, that would have been hilarious.
Or, not again, Dad. You just
Daddy.
left.
Why,
You
Dad?
would have not been on the jet anymore.
Oh my God,
No,
that's funny.
that would have been over with
Yeah.
at that point. Yeah, it was probably best.
That
you
was
just
fun.
Freaking
changed
George
rooms.
Brett.
Oh.
Yeah, that story fires me up.
Wow,
That's rough.
yeah, it is. That's terrible.
Man, what are you going to do?
Do they still do that? Do you think some of the players?
Say don't sign fat kid cards? I don't think so.
Maybe
a
be
trend.
rude. Be
Too,
rude to
too
them.
many cameras around now.
They can't. They can't. I mean,
Listen,
it's
for all
you
I-
know what? And you're right about that. Because of the cameras, it changes everything. Because and I'm going to kind of big turn here. I was talking about yesterday that podcast I started listening to called Ref You Suck,
Oh,
and that's the guy who wrote Moneyball,
right.
right?
Yeah,
And
I subscribe to that, by the way.
it's him.
Moneyball?
I haven't started listening to it yet. No,
Ref You Suck.
Yeah.
It's the something about fairness. I can't remember what it is, but
You got
and
to pay for it?
No,
It's free.
They need to change that. Subscribe. Just put it as follow. When you
This
say
is true.
subscribe, I'm like, what are you paying?
no.
Yeah.
What are you paying
Follow.
for this?
I favorited it, and so it's in my inventory of stuff that I'm listening to.
Oh, gotcha.
But they were talking about the referees in basketball in particular,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know this, but there's a place that is like it's all it is Replay Center. It's like the
Oh,
ref,
yeah. Yeah.
the referee replay
For the
center
NBA?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So when
Yep.
you see a ref do this,
in New York.
then it's signaling that place to go take a look at that last play.
Oh, really?
When you see
I
a
didn't
ref
know that.
do that,
It's in
I
New
didn't
York.
know that either.
Like-
when they twirl their finger in the air, I should
Yep.
say that since we're talking and not
Yes.
being on video.
Good,
When you
good podcast.
twirl your finger in the air and you see the ref do that in NBA, that means he's signaling that center to look back at that last play
Mm-hmm.
in 1/60th of a center, 1/60th of a second frames
Yep.
in order to see if he beat the buzzer or
Right.
if he stepped on the line or if he whatever. But it's because of the number of cameras that they have to do that anymore because people are watching
In their own video.
right
Yep.
in a whole different way.
So they completely take
So-
human error out of it.
It's like golf, how golf watchers
Yeah.
can narc out somebody and say, oh, this guy fluffed his ball. And
Yeah.
he should get
And it's
disqualified.
happened.
It happens.
And the officials go, oh, well,
Yep.
let's go back and take a look at that. We didn't catch it ourselves, but let's go back and take
Yeah.
a look at it. Oh, yep, sorry, you're going to
you're
get
DQ'd.
penalized. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm not
So
sure if I like that. I like
No.
I like the game being called right. Like I could be correct, but I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't. That
There's human error and everything.
100%.
there's got to be. And so baseball is another one, I'm sure, too, because when you've got the guys, and
strike
it's really, you never, oh my God,
How many
right?
times they put that up and the ball's just outside of it and he calls a strike like, oh my God, it wasn't even in the zone.
As
Like,
if it isn't sucky enough being a ref
Yes. Listen,
Right.
pal.
or an umpire.
You can get off your couch. You go stand behind home plate for 4 hours.
No
And not
kidding.
make a ton of money.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they might
they
make a
make
little
pretty
bit.
good money.
They said that
They
the
make pretty
NBA
good money.
refs, they start at 150,000.
Yeah, they do.
That's
So
not
they
bad.
start, yeah.
The NFL ones, they got another job and that job and still probably make near that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just saying. Yeah, they get paid.
Is that because of the number of games?
Yeah.
They were talking about the rotation. It's really, really interesting podcast if you get a chance to listen to it after you listen to ours.
Yeah.
But
This one first.
Just put that one in the playlist.
yeah, we'll put that in the
Put
playlist.
that in the playlist.
Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. So any other that you want to throw in there?
I don't know.
I'll give you a Newman Grove story.
That'd be
Okay.
great.
Please. As in
So-
like baseball?
No.
Just Numa Grove?
This is kind of farmish because you said you're going to tell a farm story.
It's farms the theme. So
Yeah.
whatever
So-
relates to farms.
Yeah.
Small town. Newman Grove actually has a really good chef there in town. He moved in from L.A.
Really?
Killing it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Google Newman Grove chef.
I'm going right there.
Yeah. Okay. So we're at the farm, me and my sister, and my other grandma lived in town. So my grandparents on the farm were like, hey, go in and see your other grandma. I'm like, great. So they drop us off. She's like, hey, go swimming. Like, I don't want to deal with you two. Go
Go see
swimming.
your grandma. Hi, guys. Go swimming.
All right. So we get over there, and we're for swim lessons. I'm not really a swimmer. I can swim. It's not something I'm actively like, hey, let's go out and swim.
Well, I mean, were your quads as big back then? I mean, it can be hard to swim.
I've always had big legs.
Yeah. So it's be tough.
So we're going through this kind of starting out, and those that learn how to swim in small town or maybe in bigger town. But you're this my son, we're like, I'll get in the pool. This will be fun. Da, da, da. So we're doing bobbers. Right? You
Just
know,
bouncing
bobbers.
up and down?
Just getting used to going underwater, learn how to breathe out your nose and so it doesn't shoot up into your in your throat.
Yes.
So I go down and go up. I'm like, hey, I got this. You know, do a 5, and then we get done. She's like, do 10. So I do 10. I get done. I'm kind of done before everybody. So I'm standing there. I'm chatting away with somebody, and Udell was her name. Very small town name, Udell.
Yeah.
She came up behind me and put her hand on my head and dunked me because she thought I was screwing around. And I may have swallowed half the pool.
Oh, because you were
Scary to
talking.
death.
Oh, pissed, scared,
Oh,
flailing.
Yeah.
And then her hand was still on my head. You know, she's a high school gal. So I couldn't really get away. And I was freaking out. Got up, spit out just spit, got caught.
Coughing.
Get out. I'm like, I'm done with this. Got out, walked up, sat on the curb. Got out of the pool. I was like, done.
Forget that,
Yep.
man.
Yeah.
Udell.
I won't rat around and give her a last name, but yeah.
That's all right.
There's
'cause
probably not
there's
many
only-
Udells
There's only
up there.
two in
Nope.
Nebraska.
Yeah, that's fair. One of them's a city. But yeah, a small town swim lesson.
Oh no, I hated.
Did it come up?
lessons. It did not.
You just
I got here. I'm gonna type
press
it.
search.
I did. That's what.
Yeah,
came
City
up.
Cafe.
Oh, it's a City Cafe.
Oh yeah,
I
he
follow
bought
them
the
on
City
Twitter.
Cafe.
Oh heck, they're really good on Twitter too.
That's him.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
cool.
You need to get Paisans to grab onto like some national
Be
brand.
better on social media.
Yeah.
yes, I do.
Or be like ultra funny on Twitter or Facebook. It's like just
I love
Be
those.
sassy.
I love them.
I love them. It's such a fine line to walk.
It is.
Like the concept of Dick's Last Resort, I love.
What?
Have you ever been to Dick's Last Resort?
Dick slash
Last
Oh,
Dick's
last.
Last Resort.
I haven't even heard of that.
No?
Well, I thought you said Dick
is-
slash like it's
Oh,
either
no.
Dick's or
Is
it's a
it-
resort.
Oh my god! Isn't
Dick's
it right by
Last
something else? that's,
Resort.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Next time you go on vacay,
Okay.
find a Dick's Last Resort.
Okay.
So we're in there.
Personal problem.
We're in there for a bachelor. We're in there for a bachelor party, and we're eating. And their whole concept is their staff does not care. They do not give two S's if you get the right food, the wrong food. If you get food, right?
Yeah.
So we're sitting down. We all order, and the food starts coming out. Of course, mine doesn't come out. And I'm like, "Hey, you forgot my food." She goes, "You don't need to eat." And I was like,
Oh, is this a place that just jerks to you?
"Yes."
Okay. I've heard
This
of it.
is hilarious. Their hashtag is hilarious.
So then,
Hashtag Dick's Pics.
yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. And so she finally brings my food, and I had ordered like sweet potato fries. I got French fries, and she was like, I was like, "Hey, these are wrong fries." She goes, "Well, the odds are they're probably somebody else's, so share them." Like, pass them over to somebody else. I'm like, "Can I just get my sweet potato fries?" She goes, "I guess, fatty." And she walked away. She walked away. And she comes back and she goes, "Hey, got your fries?" And they give you like a bib to wear. She just dumped them on my table.
Oh, she did?
Just have them, and it's a big serving. So have them land in my lap, and then they're on the plate. She's like, "There you go."
Oh, that's awesome.
Just slap on a feed bag. So it's a blast.
It's
I
hilarious.
have heard of that place. I didn't know it was called.
Their tagline is putting the FU in fun.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It's
so you,
fantastic.
so you, I
I'm
know
gonna
you don't.
follow them on Twitter right now.
I know
Highly
you don't want to
recommended.
make Verzes, Paisans like that.
No.
But I don't know how companies like they must have one person specifically
Yeah,
hired
they
just
do.
to do social
They do.
media.
and you have to sit there, and they have a tweet deck, and then when Wendy's is the best.
Yeah, Wendy's is
great.
Wendy's
Who
if
else-
pelly pops up.
You know who else is really good? Back when what am I trying to say? Faux Polini, when he was on, and the Belk Bowl.
Yeah, Belk and Belk
Belk
went back
Bowl
together.
was
Yeah, they're
good.
great.
Yeah, they were like one of the first inanimate like location.
Yeah.
That had a hilarious and then you started seeing the rest of them start.
If I
jumping
get it
on.
lined up, I can do that. I can search just, hey, when Paisans pops up or whatever, or somebody, you just put a bunch of columns. But trust me, I've had the tweet typed out and my sarcastic nature and ready to press send. And I'm like,
just don't want to pull the trigger.
this is your day-to-day operation here, bud. So careful.
This is it. What do you
You
want to
better
do?
you better hope they think it's funny. And I was like, nope,
you don't do it?
Delete.
Oh man, I know that'd be hard. It'd be hard.
It would be
It is.
really hard.
It is.
Oh my god, I'm trying to find them on
The
Twitter.
best was, I forget if Wendy's was going back and forth with somebody like, "Hey, Wendy's, what do you?" It was somebody was doing $4 something, and Wendy's was like $4.99, and it said, "Hey, Wendy's, what do you think about this?" Like, think I wouldn't eat there. And there, then the next response was like, "Don't want to do that to my toilet."
That's funny.
Like T-Bell was chirping, but that's corporate America.
Yeah.
Corporate's like, yeah, we got billions of customers. Paisans, I'm like, I got 40,000 customers.
Right?
Yeah,
I know.
that's right.
That's just, and the chances of how many we're seeing it when it's Wendy's nationwide,
Right.
worldwide.
How about that Taco Bell resort, by the way?
I haven't seen that one.
And it's in
heard of it.
Tampa, Florida. It's called the Bell, and it's owned by Taco Bell. It's a resort down in Florida. It's Taco Bell, like it's a Taco Bell resort, but it's like 5-star. It's called the Bell. It's actually they're taking reservations starting the 24th of June.
That'd be interesting.
Right?
Is it like an all-inclusive
Yeah.
with only Taco Bell stuff?
Yes, you diarrhea for weeks after you leave there.
I will argue the other way. If they're preparing it on site, they probably use actual like good food.
So it'd be taste different.
I bet it would taste great.
Yeah, but if we're used to it the way it is. I mean, Taco Bell, I have a love affair for Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell.
I know you do. Oh, here it is.
But
Time to
who
book
else
your
told me that the
reservations.
other day?
Hashtag reservations for the Bell open June 27th. Yep, there it
There
is.
you go.
Yeah.
Oh my
Pat
God.
T-Bell.
How cool is that?
You'll be back rolling down the hallway in no time.
Why don't you
Don't
go
tell
there for
Dibble.
your honeymoon instead of the Dominican Republic?
Actually, you know what? Beth would love that.
I'm not.
It's in the Dominican?
I'm not kidding. Right? He's going to the Dominican Republic,
Where's that at?
Florida,
Oh.
Yeah.
Palm Springs.
My wife's a
Why not go
savage.
there?
She booked that in the face of the deaths. She's like, we're going
In
to
what?
the DR.
In the
deaths.
face of the death?
Well, they got
Yeah,
all
the deaths in the
what,
Dominican
they got,
Republic.
like 10 or 12 now of the deaths down in DR. That they're all Americans. That they
I didn't
died
pay attention.
suspicious deaths in the Dominican Republic.
Oh, okay. On that note.
yeah.
Now I'm with you.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so tip well early. My buddy just got back from there.
Okay.
Said, hey, I tipped this bartender. And the bartender said, listen, don't drink anything that you don't see poured. If somebody goes around the corner, do not drink it. He said, yeah, 100%. He said, there's people in here that I work with that, yeah. He said, so unless you see me pour it, he goes, number one, only come to me. He said,
Yeah.
because you're giving him money.
Yeah.
And number two, if it gets out of your sight, don't drink it.
That's a lot of pressure. I'm scared now.
Yeah.
Go Taco Bell. Go to the Bell.
I don't know if Beth would argue that. She's
Probably flying down to Florida anyway. You got to fly out of Florida to go to DR,
Right?
no?
yeah, maybe Atlanta or Houston or something. Maybe. I don't remember.
Reroute to Florida.
Just saying. Oh wait, this Palm Springs, California.
Oh, it is?
What am I thinking? I was thinking Florida.
Jeez.
Wrong way.
That sounds awesome.
All right. Well, we're not going until December, so they'll figure it out by then.
Okay.
Or
Or they won't.
I just
the number will go up.
right.
Or it'll be the JT podcast.
You need to-
JT and Verse.
Thursday, every day.
nobody. No, I don't want that. Nobody else should have to live through that.
Right. Right.
There's times I drive home like, will you just shut up? There's no one in there. It's just
Nope.
me.
He's talking.
Just my brain just running.
You have the little angel and the little devil. And the little angel's like, would you just?
The angels started fighting.
When you wake up in the morning, do you just wake up and go, like I was saying, and just go right into it?
No. I mean, like I'm having that conversation in my head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
All right.
All right, so.
anyway,
All right, so
we, thank you, Kugler Vision, for supporting this
again,
mess.
see what you're doing?
Seriously,
Yeah.
too. If you guys talk to Cooler and they're like, hey, don't have Vrzal, I'll just be like, I totally understand.
He hasn't said anything so far, and so at this point, he
Shout out
is,
Mike Stunts and Haley.
There
Yeah.
you go.
What's
And
up?
yes. And
That's right.
he's basically responsible for keeping this going. So thank
So
you
it's
for
his
that,
fault.
Dr.
Yeah.
Lance Kugler and
his
Kugler
fault.
Vision. If you're thinking about it, getting rid of the glasses, getting rid of the contacts, you want to see about the procedure, you want to go in for the consultation. Pat went in for his. They have same-day LASIK. It's a possibility. Not everybody, but it's definitely on the table. Once you get that consultation, you're amped, you're ready to go. And they're like, well, we can get you in. Let's get this done. And you
Do
can
it.
get it done the
Do
same
it.
day, right?
Super good.
Absolutely. Go online at kuglervision.com, and that's where you're going to see the consultation tab. You can't see it real well. More reason to click it.
That's right.
Just
Right.
saying.
Good point. And if they ask where you heard for it, you like click other. Right there, put Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
That's all you got to do. We'd appreciate that. Great Verse Day, back-to-back Verse Day.
It happens.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
I'm sorry about the George Brett deal. Thanks for listening to our
Name
podcast.
of the podcast.
Screw that guy.
Pat and JT Podcast. A Parkville Media Production.